I am calling on our president. First of all, I want to congratulate or commend the presidency and all his people that he's working with for the bold steps they've taken the moment they realize that the disease is coming home. From the first announcement to the second announcement where churches, funerals, and all sort of things were banned, I commend the president for doing that. But let me say this joke, Nana, anytime you are coming out to do this announcement, after saying it in English, I know, Nana, your tree is sexy. Nana Akufo-Addo has a sexy way of speaking tree. Speak in tree as well. So that my pastor somewhere, I will not mention that area in Ghana, will understand you. Because yesterday I realized that the police had to go and arrest a pastor. For all you know, the pastor do respect our president, but unfortunately, the level of English that Nana, our president, speak, maybe this pastor wants it. You know what I'm saying? That just by the way, you know. So I commend our president. Seriously, if our leaders have been acting this way and they wouldn't wait for crisis before they act this way on behalf of the citizenry, I think some of us wouldn't be angry at them like this. You understand? So I commend the president for doing that. What next? After doing this, I think that another thing that I'm commending the president for is another pronouncement he made, that this presents an opportunity for Africans, for Ghanaians, to start producing some things that we've been dependent on outside world to get. Nana, my president, I don't want this to be a rhetoric. I don't want this to be just a mere saying. We can do it. Seriously, we can do it. And, well, people who have been listening to me for a while now, since 2014, you know my political views as an individual or as a journalist. I have said that the NDC and the MPP has not demonstrated enough to me to warrant my vote or for me to campaign for any one of them. But our president, we are going into elections very soon. And I think that if you can take advantage of this situation to make our country free from importing some foodstuffs, I think that Ghanaians are not foolish. I believe that the times at which people vote simply because I'm an Akan, I'm an Ewe, I'm an Northerner, is gradually dying. It's still there, but it's dying. I'm telling you, 2016 elections, people didn't vote just because they wanted NPP. The youth who have been staying at home since 2012 without employment after school voted based on the employment policy that Nana Akufo-Addo campaigned on. So now people are beginning to vote based on actions and policies. So our president, take advantage of this. If you're able to, and within 6 months, I think that if Nanado would just put aside 10 million out of the 100 million for farming, just select the best farmers. Just select the best farmers and equip them with if it is land that they need, let them have it. If it is irrigation equipment, let them have it. And I tell you, within 6 months, we can turn this situation around. Because after we've realized that it has been able to be done, then a lot of other private people will also go in. Because anytime, I don't believe in this song of private, when the states take the lead. That's where it attracts some private people to go into it, especially when they realize that if they produce, the state is going to buy and distribute. So please, when it comes to food, because the crisis can seriously escalate if there's no food. And right now, even if somebody would think that we can use the military to go and bring food in, people will not even trust the food because of where it is coming from, because the disease has destroyed everywhere we go for food and money. So this is the time. This is the time. I think that we can do something when it comes to agriculture. Now let's come to pharmaceutical productions. I think that Ghanaians, there's a lot of Ghanaians given the opportunity, can also make us stop importing some things like this hand sanitizer. I was happy to see a doctor from Kolebu, you understand, saying that the hand sanitizer that this is mine anyway, the hand sanitizer that he was using on Metro TV as a guest was produced by doctors or pharmacists or whatever it is at Kolebu. That's amazing. I was happy to hear that. I've also heard that students at KNUST are manufacturing hand sanitizers to distribute for free. You see the patriotism in the Ghanaian. But unfortunately, lately, our politicians are taking the little doses of patriotism in us. But let's use this pandemic to bring ourselves together. And let's support our leader. And I think that with the necessary support, our leader can deliver. What I want is, by the time this pandemic goes down, we will be food sufficient. And petty things that we import from outside will be produced right here. Job will be created. And you don't need to stand on campaign platforms to talk too much, because it is reflecting. People go to work in factories owned by Ghanaians. And if you are listening to me from anywhere in Africa, this one goes out to you as well. And if you know any social media handle of any politician in Ghana, in Africa, anywhere, tag them with this video. That let's take advantage of this pandemic to change our economy. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I've also heard of the Coa FX immune booster medicine that is doing wonders in China. What is government doing to make sure that this medicine gets certified around the world? Because whether we like it or not, when there's pandemic, it is an opportunity for another country to show how powerful they are by coming out with a remedy. What are we doing? How is government supporting scientific research? How is government lobbying, helping to lobby around? Because that's what goes on. That's what goes on. Let me read some of your comments right here on Facebook. Gifty Asantua say that we must start producing our own stuff. Exactly, Gifty. Atabaso Dennis says that I am really proud of you. Thank you. And Eric Kweku Jamfi Bebeto said coronavirus, other countries are seriously finding the antivirus. Our own president in Ghana is doing prayers. Oh, please, I have never seen our president doing any prayers, though he's building cathedral, which some of us don't agree with. Okay, so greetings to Bafoja in the third eye himself, and also greetings to Yao Don Tees and Kwame and Papa Yao Asiedu. Greetings to you all. Keep your messages coming, and I'll be reading them for you. Now, let me put this picture there and see if it will ring any bell. You know, okay. So, all right. So there's a woman by the name Joy Austin, a Nigerian by nationality, who is making waves in the news for a social media post that she did a few days ago. And I think that Abraham Moshe will be proud of this woman, whoever he is, because this is a woman who believes that the rate at which our Africans are establishing churches is too much, and that instead of building churches, they should rather build more hospitals, because at the end of the day, when coronavirus came, we did not go to church. As a matter of fact, churches are banned all over the world, but hospitals are still opened. And this woman, as we say, rightly nailed it. Good morning to you, Chip Chat. So the woman did a Facebook post whereby some media house published it, turned it into a news item. So I'm going to read some. But yesterday I had a chat with the woman, and I told her this kind of mentality is the mentality we need in Africa as far as our women are concerned. I always am always happy when I find a woman who is getting conscious or who is conscious. So she said more hospitals are needed than churches. Now you see churches are closed, but hospitals are still open. Joy Austin. So let's go into the story. A medical practitioner, Joy Austin, who prides herself as a non-denominational believer in the finished work of our Lord Jesus Christ, has thrown a jab at over-enthusiastic Christians who seem to forget about using their common sense. That's the thing. In a Facebook post, Austin said she has been one of the people who keep preaching that we as humans need more hospitals than churches. And that churches, instead of making their worship center big, should rather use those resources to big hospitals. But whenever she says this, people do look at her as evil or devil incarnate. Now, with the outbreak of coronavirus, churches have been closed down. However, hospitals are still open to welcome people who are sick, even those infected by the deadly virus. So in a series of Facebook posts, Joy Austin once again wants to remind Christians on the need for more hospitals to be built than expanding our churches every day. We said your pastors should build hospitals instead of cathedrals. So Nanado, this one, see, she's a Nigerian, and the biggest cathedrals or synagogues are in Nigeria, in the whole of Africa. You know, you called us Antichrist. Now, your cathedrals will close. Hospitals are still open. She wrote in one post, we need more hospitals than churches in Africa. Convert some of those churches to hospitals, schools, and homeless shelters if God really called you, she added. This is amazing. And this is where the level of thinking that I wish our women gets to. You understand? That this does not mean that I am in any way saying that I don't want our men to also be conscious. But the reason why I am always particular about women getting conscious is that anytime a woman can get conscious, the ripple effect is amazing, because women are the managers of our society, not home. Women are the managers of our society. They are the builders of our society. Women are the molders of our society. You understand? That's why I want, among many other things, I want this cliche, this term, housewife, to be deleted from our vocabulary as Africans. Because the moment we started using those words in its negative form, that's where our women also started saying that we're going to show you that we can stay off the home, of the kitchen, and still be relevant. And in our quest to have majority of our women going out there and not respecting them and not even thinking of paying them for being managers, molders of our society, we start from the home. If you take some minutes, some days to do the analysis, the negative effect that we've gotten after our women started leaving the house. I'm not saying that if a woman has an amazing talent that she needs to be in a corporate world, she shouldn't. But I think that if we'll do a re-engineering of our society to have more women taking roles, picking up jobs that can make them have more time or ample time to manage the home, I believe that will go a long way. Because, see, I don't believe in equality. I believe in balance. I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. I don't believe in equality. I believe in balance. Because sometimes, you as a man can have 70% of something, and without your wife's 30%, you won't get 100%. And without that 100%, you can't do what you want to do with that. You, the man, can have 30%, and your wife may bring on board 70%. So the moment you get 100, balance has been created. That's what I believe in. I was watching a video of chickens, the hen and a cock eating rice, grain of rice, and the cock just turned down the head and was just swallowing the grain of rice, just like that. Meanwhile, the hen will pick a rice and put it in front of a chicken, pick another one, put it in front of another. And I was shocked. I was like, whoa, even among the animals, the females have a better way of managing the home, better than the men. I'm not saying that there aren't some men who are not good, but I feel, and I stand to be challenged with my experience, I think that there are some things, no matter what, if you bring 10 women and bring 10 men, 8 women will do it better than the men. And there are some things, if you bring 10 women and bring 10 men, 8 men will do it better than the women. And that's why I say, anytime I see any of our women conscious, I take the opportunity to acknowledge them and let them feel proud of themselves. Let them feel that they are being appreciated. Let them feel that they are being known. and respected. You understand? And another caution that I'm giving to men out there, or everyone, is that when women come out to be vocal, we should just encourage them. If we know a point in whatever they're doing that they are getting it twisted, we respectfully let them know. And I know any woman that want to grow, want to learn more, will accept advice and criticism. So that's the woman, Joy Austin, who is a medical practitioner, I think in Nigeria. I don't know whether she lives in Nigeria or what, but I think she's a Nigerian. And I was amazed by her thoughts. You know, these days sometimes I wouldn't say what people write on social media is them, but you can get to know what some people are by going through their social media posts. You know, in this day of Instagram, Snapchat, and everything, you go to some people's, especially some women Facebook posts, and you'll be like, whoa, if we have the type of this kind of women in their numbers, our society will get to where we want it to get to, because whatever is made up of their mind is what they use to train our children at home. So thank you, Madam Joyce Austin, for that conscious statement right there. So let me go back to Facebook and see if there's any other messages that I can read out there. So Christopher Kwesi, I do say, I wonder how our leaders think. That's a big deal. But let's keep putting fire on them, and where they've done the right thing, let's praise them, just like I was doing to our president. I remember last year when I heard in the news that our president is having a deal with Cote d'Ivoire to make sure that we Africans, cocoa producers in Africa, prize our cocoa. I did a whole show to appreciate our president. So it's not like we only come and lambast them. No, we will say it as it is when they've done the right thing. And Michael Badu Akko says the great West. And Michael Badu says that, but as you hail them, what is your take on some fake feminists who have as their goal elevate women and bring down women? Any woman that think that bringing women up and bringing men down has lost it. They need to go to the drawing board. You understand? As I told you, I don't believe in equality. I believe in balance. So if you think that you're going to be a feminist and to make sure that women come above men, you've done nothing. The same problem that used to exist, where maybe women were being trampled upon, is what you're going to create in a different form. You understand? So Pat Michael, what I would say is that any woman that think that she's a feminist, you don't just be a feminist from just hearing one woman ranting, woman empowerment. No. Pick books, go online, and learn about the origin of the feminine movement in the first place. Other than that, you get it twisted. And Michael, mark my words, what you will realize is that majority of those misguided feminists are most of the times depressed. You understand? Because they will fight, and at the end of the day, they are still not happy. They use the term feminist to show themselves. So I don't waste much time on any woman who thinks that they are achieving something by bringing men down. No. Likewise, I don't support any man that will put in effort to bring a woman down. As a matter of fact, if we can grow with our women, we can have them beside us, not behind us, not in front of us, but on the same wavelength will go a long way in developing our society. Equity over equality have always been my philosophy. Michael Badu Ako, thank you very much. Yes. So today I cannot open the phone lines. Yes, because my phone itself has a problem. And besides, I was testing the software, and after the show, I'm going to sit down and listen. If everything is nice, then it means that regularly the show is going to happen every morning here with me in the studios. So Michael says that, and I like how you put yours balance, not equity, not equality. Yes. So once again, let me say good morning to each and everyone doing the watching right there. I will go for another musical break from the lady Wiala, and after that I'll come back to wrap up. So while the song is ongoing, please do well to send in your messages, and I'll read them before I wrap up.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there. Boom, boom, ti-boom, ti-boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, ti-boom, ti-boom, boom, boom. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will get there. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there. Boom, boom, ti-boom, ti-boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, ti-boom, ti-boom, boom, boom. It will be hard, we know, but we know we will.
All right, all right, all right, all right. We will get there. Oh yeah, yeah. That is beautiful song by all standard from the lady Wiyala. Okay, so welcome back for the wrap up of the show. So we want to say a very good morning once again, and thank you to each and everyone who tuned in, who did the listening. Um, Today I went strictly English because I don't want only Ghanaians to benefit from this amazing perspective that I'm bringing out here. I want all Africans. So as I told you, if you know any mover and shaker in Africa, tag them with this video and let them ask themselves, how can we take advantage of this in this moment of lockdown and all of that? It's not easy being at home, the stress, but this is the time you need a Sagittarius friend. I'm telling you, tomorrow or this evening, if I have the time, we'll talk about how to cope with these times, how to be at home and not be too much stressed, how to have something doing mentally. Because sometimes you can be there and you think that there's nothing you can do. And that's when your mind starts traveling and it causes a lot of anxiety and stress. You need a Sagittarius mind in this time, in this great moment of stress. That's where you need a Sagittarius mind or a Sagittarius friend, because we Sagittarius don't see the problems, we see the solutions most of the times, which sometimes experts say is dangerous. Yes, we wouldn't waste our time thinking about a problem that has brought itself. We waste time thinking about solution whilst enjoying along the way. So how can you have a mindset that is not down, that is not moody, that is not sad in this time, especially our brothers and sisters outside of Africa? Over there, the lockdown is serious. And this evening, if I have time, we'll look at how to have the Sagittarius mind and how to have something beautiful doing, to forget about the problems, not to forget about it so that you don't do anything about it. Yeah, so but before I go, this is my hands sanitizer that I bought. ACD 50 pesos. So actually, so I'm showing you to tell you that don't joke with all the precautionary measures that the experts are giving. Go with all of that. Go with all of that. Don't joke with any one of the precautionary measures that they are telling us or giving to us. Please, let's be law abiding. Whatever the president has said, we shouldn't see it as the president is the one. I mean, it is for all of us. And plus, after the president made the pronouncement, they've gone to parliament to pass, I don't know whether it's an LI or whatever, to make it binding. So it's not just the words of the president. So right now, that's why police were able to arrest the pastor in Kumasi. So let's all be law abiding. Let's stay away from people that we suspect are having symptoms of flu and all of that. If you sneeze with a tissue, discard it into a dustbin as soon as you are done. If you spit, just cover it with dust and do the right things. Wash your hands as soon as possible with running water, and I know that we'll be safe. But the most important thing is, I'm asking our president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, to take advantage of this to make sure that we become sufficient in rice production, in tomatoes, in corn or maize. And I know this can be done. Just call our best farmers across the regions and give them consultants to help them know how much they need to make sure that by the next 4-6 months, Ghana is not going to import some of these things anymore. I'm telling you, some African countries are going to take advantage of this. By the time we are done, they are not going to import so many things anymore. Once again, my name is Kwabena Bibiniche. We are aka DJ for the public enemy who has no one. The show will be uploaded on YouTube. The YouTube channel is DJ Fuad, and also watch it live on CSF TV. Thank you very much for doing the watching. I'm out. We'll meet this evening.
Walls of people's dwellings, so that after the bite of a mosquito, normally they will rest on the walls. So when they rest on the walls, then
we are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will get there.